Found at an auction in Southern Virginia, this silver item has an origin of Brazil and the Portuguese words humanidade, liberdade, igualdade, humanity, liberty, equality, on it. It fits in the palm of your hand, is hollow, and looks like part of a handle or something that goes over a scabbard. What are they? In Portuguese-speaking countries, these are passadores de louro, metal components used to fasten straps or stirrup leathers, louros, onto a horse's saddle. They can be either purely functional or, as in this ornate case, highly decorative. They are often made of alpaca, a silver-like alloy common in South American metalwork. The phrase humanity, liberty, equality is a classic motto, and its presence suggests this might be from a ceremonial or military saddle from Brazil, reflecting Republican ideals. It's a beautiful piece of traditional equestrian hardware. This thing absolutely baffles me. It's metal with opals on it. The top swivels, and there are tubes on either side that look like something is meant to go in them. It was found in a box of stuff from a swap meet and has been a mystery for years. What is it? The commenter recalls their grandmother having something similar. This is the upper section, or the yoke, of a multi-strand necklace. The tubes on either side are where multiple strands of beads or chains would be attached. The top part, which swivels, would connect to the main chain that goes around the back of the neck. This yoke, or spreader bar, allows multiple strands to hang gracefully in a cascading or bib-like fashion, preventing them from getting tangled. It's an ornate and central component from a more elaborate piece of vintage jewelry. This plastic thing, about 15 centimeter long, was found in a tool shed in Sweden. What is it? With a bit of specific searching, this is identified as a väggbaksstöd in Swedish. It is a wall bracket support, likely for shelving or plumbing. A väggbak is a wall bracket, often for supporting pipes. This 25 millimeter plastic piece would be a component of that system, perhaps a spacer, a cover, or part of the clamp that holds the pipe or shelf in place against the bracket. It's a specific piece of Swedish hardware. Found in the middle of the street, this is a 2-foot-long, heavy metal object. It has a hinge in the middle, a grease nipple, and a hook. The hook end might be broken. What is this piece of heavy machinery? This looks like the latch for a rear-loading sanitation truck, which is a garbage truck. The large back door or tailgate of a garbage truck, which is lifted to empty the truck at the landfill, is held shut by extremely heavy-duty latches, like this one, to contain the immense pressure of the compacted trash. The hinge, the hook, which would engage with a pin on the truck's body, and the grease nipple, for lubricating the hinge, are all characteristic of these powerful hydraulic latching mechanisms. It likely broke and fell off a garbage truck. This is a 2-foot-long rusty steel rod with gear grooves or splines on one end and an interesting yin-yang shape on the other. What is this heavy vehicle part? This shaft is believed to operate the brakes on a semi-trailer. Specifically, it's likely an S-cam from an S-cam air brake system, which is very common on heavy trucks and trailers. The spline end would be where the slack adjuster arm connects, which is in turn connected to the air brake chamber. When the brakes are applied, this camshaft rotates. The yin-yang or S-shaped cam at the other end then pushes against rollers, which forces the brake shoes outwards against the brake drum, stopping the wheel. This small metal object, about an inch tall and marked China, looks like it goes in a ratchet tool. It was found in a pile of random metal things. What is it? The commenter thinks this is the internal mechanism from a cheap socket wrench. A socket wrench's ratcheting mechanism consists of a central gear, the part that the socket fits onto, and 2 small spring-loaded arms called pals. This found piece would be the central gear. The 2 pals would fit up against the hollows in its sides. When a cheap wrench is overloaded or fails, this internal mechanism can break apart and the pieces can fall out. This round metal object with 2 threaded fittings was cast within a concrete stoop. The fittings are 2 different sizes. The house was built in the 1940s. What is it? It's a headlight, likely from an old car or truck from the 1930s or 40s. The round shape is that of a classic sealed beam headlight. After the headlight burned out or was broken, instead of throwing it away, someone repurposed it. They likely used it as a form or a filler object when pouring the concrete for the stoop. The threaded fittings on the back, where the electrical wires would have connected, are still visible. It's a creative bit of old-school recycling. This small metal feather kind of thing was found outside in the UK. What is it? Oh, I finally know one. This is a silver toothpick that came from a set. The complete set would have been a decorative, silver-plated swan figurine whose wings were made of multiple, removable metal feathers. Each of these feathers was a small appetizer fork or a cocktail pick. Tucked away somewhere in the set, often as one of the tail feathers, would be this small, elegant silver toothpick. It is a charming and specific piece from a vintage hors d'oeuvres serving set. This red plastic bolt was found in a bar toilet. What is this component from a commercial restroom fixture? As a designer of hygiene products explains, this looks a lot like something you would put inside a large, commercial roll of toilet paper to make it spin on its center in a dispenser. The large coreless rolls used in high-traffic public restrooms often require a special plastic spindle or adapter, like this red bolt, to be inserted into the center. This adapter then fits onto the dispenser's mounting mechanism, allowing the roll to turn smoothly and dispense paper properly. It likely fell out when a roll was finished. Found in an apartment fridge when the finder moved in, this is a black rubber or silicone hoof-shaped thing. It's marked with a W logo and a fill line. A banana is used for scale. What is it for? It's the silicone insert for a whiskey wedge glass. This is a product from the brand Corkcycle. The set includes a special glass and this silicone mold. You insert the mold into the glass and then fill the glass with water up to the fill line. When you freeze it, the silicone mold creates a large, slow-melting wedge of ice that is frozen at an angle into the glass. You then remove the silicone mold, pour your whiskey over the ice wedge, and enjoy a drink that is chilled but not quickly diluted. A whole pallet of these yellow plastic things, about 7 inches tall with the Amazon logo, was found on a rural gravel road. They are made of light plastic and fit on a 2x4 piece of lumber. What are they? This looks like a dock or a holder for a handheld tag scanner, the kind used in warehouses and distribution centers like Amazon's. The scanner, which is a valuable piece of electronic equipment, would be placed in this holder when not in use, to keep it safe and in a designated spot. The feature that fits on a 2x4 piece of lumber suggests these might be mounted on wooden carts, shelves, or workstations within the warehouse. The pallet of them was likely lost or stolen from a delivery truck and then ditched on the rural road. Found in the basement of a new house, this is a plastic basket on a PVC pipe. What is this component of a home water treatment system? This is a bottom diffuser or strainer basket, likely from a water softener or a carbon filter for a water system. Inside the main tank of a water softener or filter is a bed of treatment media, resin beads for a softener, or activated carbon for a filter. This basket and pipe assembly, known as a distributor, is located at the bottom of the tank. The basket has fine slots that allow water to flow through, but are small enough to prevent the resin beads or carbon media from being washed out and entering the house's plumbing. It's a critical internal part of a whole house water treatment system. This 1-inch heavy metal solid plug with a foam or rubber washer was found in a gutter. Did it come from a car, an e-bike, or a sprinkler? What is it? The commenter has a hitch vault and recognizes this as one of the side pins. A hitch vault is a small, secure lockbox that is designed to fit inside the receiver of a trailer hitch. Instead of a standard hitch pin that goes all the way through, this solid metal plug is inserted into the side hole, and then a mechanism inside the vault secures it in place, locking the vault into the receiver. The foam washer helps to reduce rattling. The commenter notes they lost one of their own, so perhaps this is it. This is a 2-inch, oddly shaped, green plastic object. It's hollow, made of thick, non-bendable plastic, and is the same shape on both sides. What is it? That's the treetop from a wooden train set, like those made by Brio or Thomas the Tank Engine. These popular children's train sets often include accessories like trees. The trees are typically made of a simple wooden trunk, a dowel, and this green stylized plastic piece, representing the leaves of the tree, would fit onto the top of that trunk. Its symmetrical shape and simple design are very characteristic of the aesthetic of these classic wooden toys. These heavy metal parts were in a cardboard box in a garage. They include some hooks and pulleys of some kind. What is this system for? This is pretty sure to be parts from a hay carrier kit for a barn, similar to ones made by the Loudon Machinery Company. This was a system used to move large amounts of loose hay from a wagon outside the barn up into the hayloft for storage. The trolley, the lower right piece, would run on a steel rail suspended from the peak of the barn roof. Ropes running through the pulleys would be used to lift a large mass of hay up from the ground with a special hay fork. The trolley would then be pulled along the rail, and the hay could be dropped anywhere in the loft. It's a classic piece of 19th and early 20th century farm technology. This is a long stick with 4 dried-out suction cups on it. It looks like you could mount it to a wall. What is it for? This looks similar to a DIY wooden carrier bar or a simple roof rack for a car. In its original state, the suction cups would have been used to temporarily attach the wooden bar to the roof of a car. This would create a simple, removable roof rack for carrying lightweight items like skis, fishing rods, or a surfboard. Over time, the rubber of the suction cups has dried out and hardened, making them no longer functional. It's a homemade solution for temporary car-top transport. This wooden coffee table from an antique store has a cutout and a wooden hanging thing. What is its purpose? The hanging wooden piece and cutout are a built-in magazine or newspaper rack. This was a common feature on coffee tables and end tables from the mid-20th century. The hanging sling, often made of leather, cloth, or wooden dowels like this one, provided a convenient place to store the day's newspaper, magazines, or books, keeping the tabletop clear. As the commenter humorously notes, since reading printed paper is now ancient history, you could use it to store your tablet or a slimline laptop. Located in a sunroom, this is a black counter with a silver metal, rectangular, stove-like object sitting on wooden cabinets. There is a black hooded vent above it. It's possibly 3 to 4 feet tall. What is this? It's an indoor grill. This is an electric or gas-powered grill designed specifically for indoor use, allowing for barbecue-style cooking without the smoke and mess of a charcoal grill. The hooded vent above it is crucial. It's a powerful exhaust fan designed to capture the smoke and cooking odors produced by grilling and vent them to the outside, which is why it's a safe and viable option for a sunroom or an enclosed patio. These built-in indoor grilling stations were a popular luxury feature in homes from the 1960s and 70s. A cat ingested this blue, paper-plastic textured strip and then threw it up. It feels like a cross between paper and plastic and is about 5 inches long. The source is a mystery. What is it? This material is non-woven polypropylene. This is the fabric-like material that most reusable grocery bags are made from. It's also used for disposable medical gowns, masks, and various other applications. It has a textured, fabric-like feel, but is made from a plastic polymer. It's very plausible that the cat was chewing on a reusable grocery bag and ingested a strip of the material. As with ribbon, some cats are drawn to chewing on these materials, which can be dangerous if they cause an obstruction. This steel object, 4 inches long with a bearing on one end and hollow on the other, was found in a lumber yard. It may be out of a propane forklift. What is it? This has been precisely identified. It is a Melling JB7SO11 valve lifter, also known as a hydraulic roller lifter. This is a critical internal component of an automotive engine's valve train. It was used in many popular General Motors engines, such as the 4.3L V6 and the 5.3L and 6.0L V8s. The roller bearing on the bottom follows the lobes of the camshaft, and the lifter then pushes up on a push rod to open the engine's valves. Its presence in a lumber yard is unusual, but many propane-powered forklifts do use these GM engines. This is a completely wooden item found in a cottage-style Airbnb in Maine. It consists of a brown base and a red cylinder with a conical top that fits nicely into the base. All edges are nicely rounded. It was found with other knickknacks. What is it? It's a puzzle. Specifically, this is a type of simple, often handmade, mechanical wooden puzzle. The objective is usually to figure out the secret to removing the red cylinder from the brown base. It likely involves a hidden mechanism, such as a specific twist, a hidden pin, or a sequence of moves, rather than just simple lifting. These charming and often frustrating little wooden puzzles are a classic type of brain teaser and a common decorative knickknack found in homes and cottages. This is a metal and plastic object where the plastic pieces slide up and down. It is kind of heavy. What is this adjustable holder for? If you go to a specialty knife store website like paulsfinest.com and search for Naniwa Japanese whetstone holder, you will see this exact item. It is a universal, adjustable holder for a sharpening stone, whetstone. Sharpening knives on a whetstone requires the stone to be absolutely stable. You place the sharpening stone on the rubber-coated holder and then tighten the end pieces to clamp the stone securely. The non-slip rubber on the bottom and top ensures that neither the holder on the counter nor the stone in the holder will move during the sharpening process, which is crucial for safety and for achieving a precise edge. A ribbed metal line was observed about 10-ish feet down a drain pipe. What is this? It looks like a plumbing snake, also known as a drain auger. A plumbing snake is a long, flexible steel cable with a crank handle on one end and an auger, a corkscrew-like head, on the other. It is used by plumbers or homeowners to clear clogs in drain pipes. The flexible snake is fed into the drain until it reaches the obstruction. The user then turns the crank, which rotates the auger head, allowing it to break up the clog or hook onto it so it can be pulled out. This one appears to have been lost or broken off deep inside the drain. This is a cylindrical metal tube with male and female ends that opens to a small space. What is this hidden object? This sounds very much like a geocache container. Geocaching is an outdoor recreational activity where participants use a GPS receiver or mobile device to hide and seek containers called geocaches at specific locations marked by coordinates all over the world. These caches often come in the form of small, waterproof containers, like this metal tube, that can be discreetly hidden. Inside, there would typically be a small logbook for finders to sign. Finding one suggests you've stumbled upon a hidden geocache. This hollow concrete foundation is in a backyard, 60 feet away from a house. What was it for? That looks like the foundation where an outdoor well pump would have been placed, located outside of a separate pump house. In many older well systems, the electric pump that drew water from the well was not submersible, but was located above ground. This concrete pad would provide a solid and stable base for the pump motor and the wellhead. The commenter notes their own had border stones and rocks inside to manage any water spillage or overflow and to keep the pump from tearing up the yard. This metal object was seen sitting on the edge of the sink in a community bathroom. The finder didn't dare touch it. It's about the size of a tennis ball, seems to have an eye-shaped hole on the end, and a large ring on the bottom and back. What is it? It appears to be a male chastity device. These are sex toys used in BDSM, or a personal kink play. The device consists of a cage or sheath, the part with the eye-shaped hole, that encloses the penis, and a ring that fits around the base of the scrotum. A lock is then used to secure the cage to the ring, preventing the wearer from achieving an erection or masturbating. The commenter hopes the finder didn't touch it, as the owner will probably be back for it. This hollow, copper-colored metal tube is about the length of a middle finger. What is this piece of camping hardware? Do you do any camping? This looks like a pole splint for a tent. The poles of a modern dome tent are often made of lightweight aluminum or fiberglass sections connected by an elastic shock cord. These poles can sometimes break or crack under stress. A pole splint is a short, slightly larger diameter metal tube. If a tent pole breaks, you slide this sleeve over the broken area. It acts as a splint, holding the two broken pieces of the pole together and allowing you to continue using the tent. It's an essential item in any tent repair kit. Found at a junkyard in Colorado, this has a 4-phase 4 marking on it. It weighs 176 grams, is approximately 3.5 inches in diameter, and is made of metal. What is it? This is a boat propeller. It's a small one, likely from a small outboard motor for a fishing boat, or perhaps from an electric trolling motor. The 3.5-inch diameter is a key clue to its small size. The blades convert the rotational power of the motor into thrust to move the boat through the water. The 4x4 marking could refer to its dimensions, diameter and pitch, or be a model number. Despite being found in landlocked Colorado, boating is a popular recreational activity on the state's many lakes and reservoirs. This metal box with cables is on an apartment balcony. The real estate agent said it was the fuse box, but it doesn't look like one. It has a hinge on one side, but a top panel appears to keep it shut. What is it? This appears to be a telecommunications cross-connect box for telephone wiring. The real estate agent was incorrect. This box is where a larger telephone cable coming into the building is terminated. Inside, there would be a punch-down block where the individual wire pairs from the main cable are separated out and then cross-connected to the individual wiring that runs to each apartment unit. The commenter notes, it seems quite large for a single-family residence, which further supports its use in a multi-unit building like an apartment complex. Found on the wall of a restaurant in Tórshavn, Faroe Islands, this wooden object is about 20 centimeters in diameter. It has a rotating outer ring and possibly inner rings as well. What is this nautical-themed interactive display? This is likely a tidal current calculator or a tide computer, specifically for the local area. The Faroe Islands are an archipelago with complex fjords and sounds, and the tidal currents can be very strong and variable. This mechanical calculator, with its rotating rings, would be used by sailors, fishermen, or ferry captains to determine the timing and strength of the tidal currents in different fjords and sounds relative to the main tide times. By aligning the rings, one could see the offset and predict the best times to navigate certain passages. It's a fascinating piece of local, practical, nautical knowledge. A small reflective square, tacked on with a nail, showed up on a fence post. It's on the outside of the finder's fence. There is no reason for this post to be more visible as it is set back from the sidewalk. What is it for? This is an adhesive survey target, also known as a reflective survey marker. Surveyors use these small, highly reflective targets as reference points when taking measurements with a total station. The total station sends out an electronic beam, and the reflective target bounces the signal directly back to the instrument, allowing for very precise distance and angle measurements. These targets are often stuck or nailed onto permanent objects like fences, walls, or curbs to create a network of known points for a construction project, a property survey, or for monitoring movement over time. This molded cardboard object is about 500 ounce, 200 millimeter, and 10 millimeter deep. It is marked in both centimeters and inches and has various indentations. What is this crafting tool for? This is a bead board, an essential tool for designing and making necklaces and bracelets. The long, curved, and measured channels are for laying out beads to plan a necklace design. The measurements allow the jewelry maker to create a piece of the exact desired length. The other, smaller indentations are for temporarily holding and sorting different types of beads, clasps, and other findings while working on a project. It keeps all the small parts organized and prevents them from rolling away, making the jewelry making process much easier. Found in a box of stuff being sorted out, this battery-operated metal thing is about 10 centimeters long and has the name Warner on it. It has a button and a voltage regulator on the bottom that goes from 3.3 V to 4.8 V. What is it? This is an older style of vape pen battery. It is the power source for a vaping device. An atomizer cartridge containing e-liquid would screw onto the top. The button is pressed to activate the heating element, coil, in the atomizer. The voltage regulator dial on the bottom is a feature of more advanced models, allowing the user to adjust the voltage, which in turn controls the temperature and the amount of vapor produced, customizing the vaping experience. Warner is likely the brand name. Found in a backyard in the Bay Area hills, this is a very light metal disc, 1 to 2 millimeter thick, with the words radioactive material. What is this? This is a tag that would have been affixed to a piece of equipment that contained a radioactive source. However, since the spaces for the model and serial number have never been etched or stamped on, it appears that this particular tag was never actually used. The company, Research Specialties Co., was formerly located in nearby Berkeley and Richmond. They likely supplied equipment or materials that required such a warning label to laboratories, universities, or industrial facilities in the Bay Area. It is an unused safety tag, not a radioactive source itself. Found in a silverware drawer at work, this is a spoon-like object with a hole in it, about 18 inches long. The little symbols on it are a mystery. What is it? This is one half of a salad serving set. A salad set typically consists of two large utensils, a large spoon and a large fork, which often looks more like a spoon with slots or tines. The user would hold one in each hand to toss and serve the salad from a large bowl. This spoon with a hole is the spoon part of that set. The hole is a stylistic feature, and the symbols would be part of the decorative pattern of this particular flatware line. It's just missing its matching serving fork. This is about 5 feet tall. The finder would say it's a coat and shoe rack, if not for the bar in the middle that would get in the way of coats. Is the bar for structural rigidity? What is it? This is a garment rack. The top bar is for hanging clothes on hangers. The bottom shelf is for shoes, boxes, or folded items. The bar in the middle is indeed a stabilizer. While it might seem to get in the way of very long coats, it is essential for the structural rigidity of the rack, preventing the two side frames from bowing inwards or outwards under the weight of the clothing. For most standard-length garments like shirts, jackets, and pants folded over a hanger, the middle bar does not affect their ability to be hung freely. Multiple yellow squares are embedded in the ground at a forestry area. They appear every 20 meters or so and surround a marshland. The finder guesses they might be to measure ground movement. What are they? These are land survey markers. They are used by surveyors to mark specific points on the ground, most commonly property lines, boundary corners, or the center line of an easement or right-of-way. They provide permanent, physical reference points for creating maps and legal descriptions of land. Their placement surrounding a marshland in a forestry area likely indicates they are marking the boundary of the forestry property, the edge of a conservation easement around the marsh, or control points for a forestry or environmental survey of the area. This strange, rusted structure is sticking out of the water in Benidorm, Spain, just below the cliffs of the famous Balco de la Mediterránea. It looks corroded and mechanical, like part of an old dock or machinery. What is it? It looks like the base of a waterspout or a geyser-style fountain. The commenter recalls that 25 years ago, a large jet of water would shoot up from this location. These types of sea fountains are popular tourist attractions in coastal cities. This rusted metal structure would be the base, anchor, and nozzle assembly for that fountain. It is no longer operational, and many years of exposure to saltwater have left it heavily corroded, but it is a remnant of a former seaside attraction. Found in an old biology stockroom at a university, there were about a dozen of these. They are two fused metal plates with a metal marble on each side that moves freely. What are they? These are possibly part of some old drawer sliders. Before modern ball bearing or roller slides became common, some drawers used simpler systems. These could be the guide and roller components from an older style of metal cabinetry or filing cabinet. The marble would act as a simple ball bearing, allowing the drawer to roll more smoothly. The multiple plates might have formed the track or the part that attached to the drawer. Their discovery in an old stockroom is consistent with them being from old lab furniture or cabinets that have been replaced. This light, flexible metal triangle was found on a bathroom counter after the owners were out. It's about 7.4 inches. What is it? This looks like the thing that attaches a cat dancer-style toy to a door frame. Many popular cat toys consist of an object, like a feather or a plush mouse, that is dangled from a long piece of elastic string. To allow the cat to play by itself, the other end of the elastic is attached to a flexible plastic or metal bracket, like this one. The bracket is designed to be wedged into the top of a door frame, allowing the toy to hang down and bounce, enticing the cat to play. Seen in a frame grab from a storage locker auction walkthrough, this large wooden device is a puzzle. Other contents are mostly musical gear and art. What is it? This looks like it could be a macumber loom, a type of hybrid jack loom used for hand-weaving fabric. Macumber looms are well-regarded, heavy-duty floor looms. The large wooden frame is the main structure. The top part is the castle, which holds the harnesses, shafts. The commenter notes it may only have 2 shafts, which is less desirable, but that Macumber looms often allow for adding more. A tag on the castle could reveal a serial number to determine its age and model. These looms can be quite valuable, selling for over $1,000 depending on their width and condition. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.